Okay guys, here's a bit of a demonstration on how to set up a Scintex fuel consumption kit. What we have here is basically a representation of a fuel system. We start with the fuel pump, which is taking from our fuel tank, which is just off to the side down here. What we're then going to do is run into the fuel line somewhere. We're going to add a filter. So we need to add a filter before each of the pulse meters. One of the most common problems that we come across is that the pulse meters become blocked by debris. So we recommend 100 micron or less. You then come through to your first pulse meter. This meter is going to read how much fuel is going into your engine. We've got here essentially our engine setup. So as we turn this tap on and off later on, you'll see an increase and decrease in the amount of fuel used. We come through, so this is coming back out the other side of the engine. So again, before our return line pulse meter, we put in a filter. Again, we look at under that 100 micron. Continue along, and then that runs back into your tank. So that whole system is fairly simple and fairly straightforward. What we then need to do is look at connecting up the pulse meters. In this scenario, everything is pretty close by, but in a general scenario, you've got a fairly reasonable distance between your engine, your pulse meters, and wherever the gauge is going to be sitting. So one of the most common questions is, can we extend these wires? And now, of course, you can. So you can go up to about a 10 meter length tops. We don't really recommend anything longer than this. What we do, however, recommend is that you use a high quality, low resistance cable. These just makes life a little bit easier, and the pulse signal is going to be substantially stronger. Fairly simply, we have 3 wires. Our green wire is our signal wire, red is positive power, and black is our earth or ground wire. We're basically going to take these and we're going to connect them into the back of the pulse meter. On the back of the pulse meter, you'll see a range of indications basically. You can check out the manual, but what we're going to do first of all is grab our inbound pulse meter. We're going to come down here and we're going to stick these ones in the appropriate slots. So you've got a positive for your positive terminal, it looks like a little lump for your signal terminal, and then a negative. We then get our outbound. So we stick them in the correct slots again. And finally, we've got the power for the unit itself. So running a couple of leads from the battery. Again, you have your negative and your positive. Once the unit is receiving power, you will need to ensure that the pulse meters are correctly set up to the display. When on the main screen, tap the menu button. This is the M key to enter the menu. Using the up arrow, scroll until the screen says Setup Mode and push the return key. This will take you to a password screen. The password by default is 0000, so all you should have to do is tap return again. The first screen should say in pulses per litre. This is where you enter the number of pulses from the side of the pulse meter in the supply line of your system. Push the return button if the correct figure is shown. This is also how you reach the out pulse meter. If the incorrect figure is shown, such as here with the out pulse meter, use the up and down arrows to change the figures. Once the correct figure has been achieved, press the return key again. There is no need to change the next couple of settings, so simply push the return key to go past them. You will eventually reach a screen that will allow you to change the units. You can change the units by pressing the up arrow. If you are happy with all these settings, simply press the menu button twice to exit back to the main screen. To add a volume to the system, start by tapping the menu key. This will take you to the Enter Fueling Mode screen. Tap the return key to access. Like before, you will be asked for a password, so you should simply just need to press the return button again. Using the up and down arrows, enter amount of liquid that the fuel consumption kit can monitor. Once you've completed this, your fuel kit is set up and ready to go. If you have any further questions on the product, please see the Scintex website at www.scintex.com.au.